This week, I'm going into a float tank for the first time ever, and I'm pretty nervous. I found True Rest Float Spa through Groupon. They opened in December 2023, and they are located in the Bellevue Shopping Center in Alexandria. True Rest provides everything you need to enjoy your experience. Earplugs, towels, body wash, shampoo, conditioner, and more. There's even an intercom in the pod that connects to the front desk in case you need anything. I've been hearing about floating for a few years now and know that some of the benefits include better sleep, reducing inflammation, lower stress and blood pressure, among many other things. After my session was over, I adjusted the lights in the pod and got ready to go to the lounge to use the oxygen bar and have some tea. I decided to take some time to reflect on my experience. Here are my thoughts. I went for a float for the first time yesterday, and today I feel pretty good. I feel a little sore on my legs. I feel well rested. I feel positive. I feel like I could conquer any challenge right now. And I know it sounds like, alright, so relax, but I'm serious, okay? Going in, I was very anxious. I was afraid that my thoughts would not stop. I was afraid that I would be spinning around in the pod. I was afraid that I would get bored. And just like there was a lot of things in my mind that I was just like, this is going to be a really tough experience for me. The thing that surprised me the most is that my thoughts, what thoughts? There were no thoughts. It blew my mind, okay? Because usually my mind is going and going and going. But when I laid down in that water, I focused on my breath. I focused on releasing tension from different parts of my body. I would bring my mind's eye to those two different parts of my body and focus on releasing the tension and just going into full physical relaxation. And it was incredible, honestly. One of the things that I had also heard about floating is that people, when they float with their eyes open, they see like colors, pictures, things like that. So one of my big goals going into this was I want to float with my eyes open. Like, mind you, it is pitch black when you go into a pod. The pod that I was in, they do have lights and sounds that you can add if you want to. But I really wanted to get into the full experience and just really, just really dive into the experience. So I decided to float with my eyes open. And there were some points where my brain was like, are your eyes open? Are your eyes closed? The most interesting part about it is that everything was black, right? But for whatever reason, I could see like clouds that were a little lighter than the rest of the darkness. First, it kind of looked like, like the paper burning effect. It kind of looked like that, but it was black and white. And then eventually I started seeing like flakes, like when you get your car painted and they add flakes to the paint and it makes it like iridescent and sparkly. I started seeing that, right? So I could see these things, right? I was seeing these things in the darkness with my eyes open. But when I would actually try to look at these things that were floating around in the darkness, I couldn't look at them. Like, I just could not look at them. I would try my hardest to focus on them, and I could not look at them. It was really cool. It's really cool. I've never had an experience like that before. Getting out of the pod, I felt energized. I felt super energized. I felt more social. I felt more friendly. And even today, it was just yesterday, so even flowing into today, I still feel this like positivity and this like really good energy. And it's like there have been little things like that have happened that kind of like ping me a little bit in the wrong way, you know what I'm saying? But at my core, I still feel that calm. And when I was like genuinely thinking about a word to describe how I felt leaving the pod, um, the word nothing came to my mind. I was like, how do I feel right now? Nothing. I feel like nothing. And it feels great to kind of feel that for a little bit. Um, you're trying to take my spotlight. Today I feel great. Today I feel great. I didn't want to wake up this morning. I definitely hurt myself by not going to sleep until like 3 last night. Um, but I mean, I woke up at like 8 this morning. I obviously felt very lethargic, um, but I feel very well rested. That was probably one of the best sleeps that I've gotten in months, honestly. Another thing that I've noticed is my legs hurt. So, like a couple days before, actually, the day before I went into my session, I had a really intense leg day. So, all day yesterday, I was walking around and my legs were in crazy pain. Like, I felt everything. It just hurt. So, I go to the float session. After I leave the float session, my legs feel like nothing. I feel like I am on clouds. Like my legs are cloud nine. Like both of them are just two clouds. um, Felt great. I felt phenomenal. But then when I woke up this morning, it was back. It was definitely back. So I'm gonna have to do some stretching later today, but I feel really good. I definitely am gonna go for a float again. They say 3 floats will give you the full range of benefits. So I'm gonna, yeah, I feel good. Flotation therapy. If you have something near you, try it out. I'm gonna sign off, and I'll see y'all next week. Bye.